Welcome along to EXFL Tier 2 Season X. We are here for round 19 out of 22. It's the Brazilian Grand Prix. We are at an overcast Sao Paulo. We have 16 drivers ready to do battle. And obviously the big talking point, the championship fight. 3 drivers in it, but only 2 drivers racing today, unfortunately. After everything was sorted out with the stewarding and whatnot from Mexico last week. Obviously, Samuel won the Mexican Grand Prix. Unfortunately, he is not racing tonight. So yeah, with Sam finishing first and Drifting finishing second, they gained a heap of points on Josh Hewitt. Here is Warren to serve his qualifying ban. After causing an incident with Ridian last time out, he's hit the total. So he'll hopefully just get disqualified. But yeah, Josh Hewitt got promoted to 6th in the end instead of 7th because Adam got a penalty for hitting Sam into Josh, which is why he spun. So Josh gained 2 extra points, which means that Drifting leads the World Championship on 211 points. And Josh Hewitt is second on 210 points. So 1 point between them. And I think that's Josh already invalidated his soft run, which is unusual. We usually see Josh on the mediums for his first run, as Drifting's also about to begin his run. So yeah, as much as that's crazy enough that these two are separated by 1 point, Josh is 1 point ahead of Sam as well. So all 3 of them separated by only 2 points with 4 races to go is crazy enough. But unfortunately, like I said, Sam is not racing today. So he'll need to hope that Drifting and Josh don't score too many points with 3 to go after this. Drifting 17-4 in the first set then. Let's see who we have. We have Chaz going for a spin there, reserving in the Williams, and Ridian in, I believe it's penultimate race in EXFL Tier 2. I think he said Vegas will be his last. He's about to finish his lap. He'll be the first one to set a lap in this session. Josh might go again or might have to go into the pit lane. So Ridian will cross the line then. It's going to be a 1 minute 8.3 to set the benchmark. We have the McLaren of Christian after a few weeks out back in the car. His teammate Yonder as well. Hoping to close 30 points behind Eggy, who's doing his 50th Tier 2 race today. So well done to Eggy for hitting that milestone. Sombra, his new teammate, his 3rd race in EXFL Tier 2. P3 and P11 so far. He was looking set for, well, in the early stages, a win in Mexico if his strategy went well, but this is Tier 2. Obviously, there were going to be safety cars, which messed him up, and then obviously he got a drive-through, so that lost him a potential P3 because he had no penalties. He still is just under 2.5 tenths ahead of Chubster, who's just ahead of Ridian, who's just ahead of Drifting. Nathan 2 seconds off. Eggy 2.1 off, but he's already found another half a second in the first sector, so I believe this will be his proper lap. He's got the RB in front of him. Hopefully that's Bluey gets out of the way soon as he heads through turn 6, and Bluey's becoming a bit of a blockage here, but eventually does get out the way. Hopefully didn't hold Eggy up too much. So that's an 8-0 so far for provisional pole. We've got Adam, who was challenging up there, to be fair, in 3rd. Had a few penalties last time out in Mexico. Then got a 1 post race, so finished, I believe, 8th. Still looking for that first podium. Eggy still looking for that first win. Frosty Life, he's been on pretty good form lately. Some solid top 5 finishes and qualifyings for himself as... that's Eggy crossing the line in 6th. Yeah, Josh Hewitt has not been a good last couple of races for the Sauber. Only 8 points scored with a DNF and P6. He's going to hope to bounce back here at a track he's done pretty well at in the past, but a track that has not been kind to him, obviously. Rain in 10 minutes, apparently. That's what Josh said. So that's probably why we're getting some lap times early on the board. Josh Hewitt about to start his lap as Frosty went onto the front row while that was happening. So, a lap of Sao Paulo diving into turn 1 in the Center S for Josh Hewitt. This time, keeps it valid. On the exit, into 3, long sweeping left-hander, DRS open, blasting a bit more battery, but obviously you want to save a lot for the run to the line. Finishing the first sector split, 17.5, a couple tenths up on what I've seen from other people. A little bit of a slide out of the Esquido de Largo through turn 5 and 6 now. Sweeping right-hander, a little bit of a lift. Bit of a heavy braking zone. He's taking that very cautiously through the middle part of the track, the technical parts. Heavy braking to the long right-hander, trying to hug every apex possible, not leave any time on the board. And considering there's rain soon, you really can't afford to. Finishing the middle sector, so easy to get caught on that grass to the right, 51.8. But now it's just foot flat to the floor, blast all your battery, and see what happens when you cross the line. Stelios went 5th in the Red Bull, and now we'll see what Josh Hewitt can do. An 8.0 is the time to beat, and he's going to cross the line. It's an 8.179 to put himself P3, with his closest rival down in 7th. But it's close. And with the rain coming soon, I'm sure these next few minutes are going to be very critical. So who haven't I looked at? We got Christian, I think just about to do a lap. Bluey, currently on a lap. We got Adam, who hasn't raced in the last 3 weeks, back in the Alpine, in his 12th Grand Prix, still looking for his first points. Obviously holds the record for most races in Tier 2 without a point. Well, it's Brazil and it's Tier 2, anything could happen, so you never know. With today, obviously Warren will have that quali ban starting P16. Adam crosses the line, slowest at the moment, over a tenth, just behind Nathan. But top 10 covered by a second, top 7 covered by just over 3.5 tenths. Ridian has found some time. That is a brilliant first sector, a 17.503. I believe that is the fastest first sector of the lot. Ridian, who would love to show a great performance towards the end of the season. He's got, is that Chaz in front of him, potentially about to give him a tow as well. But Chaz is also on a lap time himself, 51.7 to Ridian's 52.0. Unfortunately, he's lost some time. So Chaz F1's on a really good time as well. And both Williams giving each other a bit of help. And Chaz F1's going to cross the line. It's an 8.2 with Ridian P6. And there is the rain. So this might already be our grid. As we can see, Ridian's retired. And that's going to be P6 at best. Could we see Sombra for the first time in only his 3rd race take pole position? Frosty Life would be an incredible front row again for the Haas driver. Fortunately, Stelios left there. But yeah, whoever's on a lap now might get a little bit of a chance to improve. But the rain is going to come down. We're going to have probably an early end to qualifying. Good lap in the end from Chaz. Drifting. Gets dropped to P9 now as Adam goes P7. What about drifting? He's down in the first sector by nearly 2 tenths. He can see the rain coming down. And at the moment, the championship leader is starting down in 9th. As Stelios is back. That's good to see. As I believe that was... yeah, it was a Christian who crossed the line there in P11. So drifting. Surely he won't improve. He's 1.2 down. And unless someone does a 2018 Leclerc at the moment, no one's really going any quicker. Frosty Life in the first sector's down. And that might mean La Sombra, for the first time in Tier 2, is on pole position. Our newest pole sitter. Unless anyone else can deny him, really. In these wet conditions, drifting's going to have it all to do from 9th. And Eggy goes across the line, P12. With the RB going off there. Premature end to qualifying then. I do not know what the weather is like for the race, but considering no one said anything, I'm going to guess it's dry. Our 65th different pole sitter in Tier 2 history is La Sombra. Henry? Who's Henry? No one deciding to put any inters on. But yeah, Drifting's into the pit lane. He's not going to be too happy with 9th. But it was a close qualifying, to be fair. And that is it. Drifting will start 9th for the Grand Prix. Josh Hewitt won't mind that too much. P3. Frosty Life keeping up his great momentum with a front row. 89 thousandths between him and La Sombra. An 8-0. And we still have 7 minutes remaining. I'm sure the only one who could still improve is maybe Bluey. 12.2 seconds off. But he'll finish this first sector split. They've been doing 17.5s. He's done an 18.4. So that's 9 tenths. And one by one they're going to retire. And we're just going to have to wait and see who's left. Yep. I think that pretty much confirms it. Even though Chubster's going for it again. Into turn 1. Yep, that's Yonder out. And then there were about half of them left. Yeah. Yep, as you can see, Chubster 4 tenths down. It's just not working out there. Maybe those were caught unaware. Or they knew. Chaz F1, second row start will be very good for him. He obviously returned for Texas. Was running in the points. Was around 9th or 10th with quite a few penalties. Looked like he was going to get 9th or 10th. I believe 10th. But then on the last lap he crashed and retired. So hopefully today is a bit better for him. Stelios in the pit lane. La Sombra out there on the inters. For some reason. 5 left. And you always get maybe 1, maybe 2 at the most. Premature ends to qualifying because of rain. And this is one of them. Sombra's out. Just waiting for Chaz, Chubster, Nathan and Adam to retire then. So yeah, premature end to qualifying with the rain coming down in Brazil, but that's Brazil for you. A little bit of weather changes things. And yeah, for the first time, La Sombra will be on pole position in his 3rd Grand Prix. He's looking very set to be a good contender for next season. There we go, Chaz is retired, just waiting for Chubster, Nathan and Adam. Otherwise, we are going to be sat here for quite a few minutes. Adam has decided to head out onto the track. There we go, Adam's out, even though he headed onto the track. There's Chubster, so it's just Nathan left. There we go. That is qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Probably the, well, least exciting qualifying of the season because it was a bit anticlimactic at the end. But we've still got a pretty good grid set for round 19. Bluey and then Warren. Yep. And hopefully there are no connection issues today, like last week. I had to stitch together the 2 streams earlier today. Anyway, here we go then for the Grand Prix. It is still overcast. So a bit 50-50 really, if it's going to clear up, if it's going to get worse, or it'll just stay like this. Game is for every single driver starting on the softs. Looks like it might be a soft-medium race then. Unless anyone decides to change their strategy. Drifting's got it all to do then, like I said, from 9th. Championship leader by 1 point ahead of Josh Hewitt. Ferrari went into this race with a chance of mathematically winning the championship, but with Sam not racing, that will not happen. So the earliest Ferrari can win it will be next week in Vegas. Top two, as you can see, have switched to the hard compound tyres to start off with. Sombra doing what he did last week. We can see Ridian's changed to the mediums. And so has Josh Hewitt. And now Stelios too. It's going to be critical to stay in the DRS, not get caught up in incidents, but I'm sure probably around about this area there might be a few. Warren at the back starting on hards at the moment. Drifting's also switched to the mediums, as has Eggy now. And that's it. We will gear up for the formation lap. So yeah, bit of a range of strategy at the moment. The front row on hard compound tyres, and we know Josh Hewitt is a pretty good starter. And Chaz F1 is the first driver on soft, so this could be a very interesting start to see who leads into turn 1, into turn 4, end of lap 1. Chubster's also on the softs. He's had a good qualifying. Oh no, Frosty Life. Oh, that's really going to mess his start up then. So that's probably a free position for Hewitt, Chaz, Chubster. Depends how quickly he gets back in his car, but I don't think he'll be able to do the start. Unfortunately for Frosty Life, that'll help Sombra a little bit. And this really does give an opportunity for Josh, if you can get close enough to Sombra, maybe just go for the inside and take the lead. After a couple of races of a mix of bad luck, but also just maybe not having the pace, he's returned to Brazil, a track, like I said, that has not really been kind to him in the past. 3 years ago, in 5 days' time, was the dramatic season 4 finale where he lost the championship. Well, 3 years later, he's back in Brazil fighting for one, but it's not the title finale yet. We've still got 4 races to go, including this one, and he trails by 1 point, and he knows this is a big opportunity today to gain not only on Sam but Drifting as well, who's down in 9th. And yeah, a lot of medium and soft runners and 3 hard runners at the back and at the front of the grid. Sombra then will place his car into pole position for the first time in Tier 2. Frosty's AI will then line up in second. Josh Hewitt will line up third. Chubbs has already lined up 5th and messed up his grid slot. The 2 Williams sit in, and we can see Chaz pointing to the middle of the track. And can he get the jump on the top 3? We got a hard runner, a medium runner, and a soft runner. Pretty much going to be the net top 3 as we see Warren enter his grid slot at the back. Here we go then. This is the Brazilian Grand Prix. Round 19 of the World Championship. 5 lights out. And away we go in Sao Paulo. It's a Sombra from Frosty and Josh. And Chaz, who's going to get a good getaway? Looks like the Ferrari of Chubster is under pressure from Ridian as well. But Sombra leads ahead of Chaz F1, who's gotten ahead of Josh Hewitt. It was a cautious start from one of the championship protagonists. And Chubster is ahead of Ridian. And then Frosty Life, still ghosted, is probably going to lose more positions. Adam and Drifting fighting away, Drifting to the inside, still trying to keep out of trouble. Frosty's back in, so Drifting has gained 2 places there as Christian and Stelios are fighting for P8 and 9. Single file then for the top 5. And Chaz F1 is now into the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Those hards not working for Sombra at the start. Chaz maximising his grid position. And he's also been a pretty good starter in his 100 and odd experience. So it's about time he's put that to good use. So Josh Hewitt all over the back of Sombra. And yeah, unfortunately Frosty Life back in the car is down in nearly last. But Chaz F1 then nearly with a second lead. He's had a perfect opening lap ahead of Sombra, who knows the race is not right now going to come to him. It's going to be towards the end. And, well, it's really a case of soft medium, hard medium, medium hard, etc. The strategy will be very interesting. Warren now fighting away with Nathan. Bit of contact between the Aston and the RB. Warren cuts the corner slightly, but is ahead of the RB. And we see Sombra closing right up to the back of Chaz and just letting him know he's there. So 75%, Chaz 56%. And warnings are also going to be a very crucial thing. That's also, yeah, Chubster. Bit under the radar so far. Started 5th. Is 4th at the moment after what has been not the greatest second half of the season for him. He's up there and doing really well. And Ridian holding his ground in 5th. Drifting has got up to 6th, so that's a great start for the championship lead. It's what he needed to not lose DRS to the top guys, and he can use his pace to try and gain some more places. The two McLarens holding on to the last points paying position. Eggy just outside of it, all over the back of Christian. Warren not too far behind on the hards himself. And we'll see the bottom 4 head through the final corner. Frosty's got it all to do then, also on the hard compound tyres. It's not going to be easy as we look back to the front. Sombra gaining on Chaz. Fastest lap is Drifting at the moment. And that might be a warning for Sombra. Josh just letting the top 2 stay as they are. The top 3 all on different strategies. And here we go. Sombra to the outside. Chaz going to the left. Can't really fight it. And Sombra back into the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix ahead of Chaz. Further back, Christian and Eggy fighting away. And Christian still stays ahead of Eggy. And it looks like the top 9 are in this train as Christian has lost the DRS at the moment. And there's still no word if there was going to be any weather affecting this, so it could just be cloudy the whole time. Josh finds himself behind Chaz at the moment. As we see Frosty ghosted there with Adam. A lot of lag happening as Eggy fighting away. Oh my god, so much lag. As the Chaz F1, what's happened to him, has dropped down the order. That's very unusual to see that late on the exit. Chaz F1 has dropped down to 5th behind his teammate now, and now is under pressure from Drifting. And now Chubster goes to the inside on those soft compound tyres to take P2 away from Josh, who stays where he is then after all that. Warren round the outside of Eggy, and oh dear, Christian has spun at turn 1, lost his end plate and drops down to 16th. The Sombra still looking great in the lead. And Chubster, this is definitely a standout performance for his season, as we still see Warren and Eggy fighting away. P10 and P9, Eggy gets caught on the curb, which is going to lose him time slightly, and Drifting has lost a place to Adam. But Warren is now ahead of Eggy. But they are quite a few seconds off the top 9, all still within DRS of one another. And yet that's not going to help Drifting's chances. He can see that brightly coloured green car a few cars ahead of him. Yeah, Chubster really using those softs, putting them to good use. Christian's unfortunately left the session. But we look back to the start of lap 5 then. Chubster still with enough battery, keeping close to Sombra, but 2 compounds softer. He's going to try and close up to him and take the lead. I don't know when's the last time we saw Chubster in the lead of a Grand Prix. He's led the championship once this season, to be fair to him. And Adam's on the charge as well. He's up to 5th now, considering he started, 7th? As we see the Chaz and Drifting fighting away. As Chaz got onto the grass there, and now he's gone off the track. So yeah, Drifting getting the move done. Just enough battery, and he's up in the 6th. Chaz F1, those softs on lap 5, really falling that much away. But if that's the case, then Chubster might find himself under pressure pretty much soon as Christian's back in his car. His AI didn't even pit. Sombra 50%. Chubster 50%. Sombra 60%. And Chubster looks a lot closer this lap. Yeah, 5 laps in, no penalties at the moment. Looking good. The top 3 stay as they are. Ridian has slowly been making his way up too. After he started 6th, he's gained a couple places. And he's just on the outskirts of the podium. See Chubster gaining in the slipstream. See Sombra taking those lines. Rear lock slightly. And Stelios and Chaz are now fighting away. Stelios round the outside. Drifting's trying to keep within a second. Stelios goes over the curb. I don't know if he knew if it was going to be left enough space, but now he's got to run on Chaz with barely any battery. But Chaz is in the slipstream of Drifting, who goes defensive to the inside. And we're going to see all 3 of them head into turn 4, and Drifting has been done by the pair of them at the moment. And Stelios closing the gap to Drifting. Drifting getting his elbows out there, side by side with Stelios. They bang wheels slightly. Chaz is ahead then, and Stelios making more contact with the Aston Martin, and Drifting is left nowhere else to go but yield, and he's down into 8th, and crucially, he's out of the train for the win. And Adam as well is out of the train, so the top 4 at the moment are in the winning train. Adam a bit on his own, Chaz 2 seconds behind, This is not going well for Drifting in P8. He would only be, what, 6 points ahead of Sam? But at the moment, 15 points are going Josh Hewitt's way, who would be 16 ahead of Sam with 3 to go. They're all in none. Well, I thought they were in none, but Chubster's actually just genuinely got low battery. As we see 3 wide into turn 1. Drifting, fighting away with Chaz and Stelios again. Chaz to the inside, slides slightly, and Drifting to not hit Chaz, has to avoid and go off the track. Rejoins it, and here's Yonder now to make it nearly 3 wide. Onto the grass goes the McLaren, and it's going to be 3 wide heading into turn 4. Chaz backs out, and he's fighting away with Yonder still, and Drifting is ahead of the pair of them. Losing ever more time is the Aston. But yeah, really getting their elbows out. Hard, aggressive racing. It looked fair for the most of it. At the moment, Sombra has got the gap over a second, and Chubster looks like his softs are wearing off a bit. Idiot. And Josh is all over the back of Chubster then. And it looks like before they even get to the DRS, he's alongside. And he's going to go up into P2. And Ridian's there for the taking as well. On Chubster for P3 as well. So Ridian doing a good job as well as Josh slides into turn 1. The brake bias probably needs to be upped as Yonder fighting away with Chaz into turn 1 as well. And Chaz stays ahead. Warren with a 3-sec. Adam with a 3-sec. Frosty as Chubster back in front of the pair of them. As Josh tried to switch back, and that's allowed Adam to join this fight. As Sombra's already 2 seconds clear as they're squabbling. But yeah, Chubster used well, I'm going to guess a lot of battery then to get back in front of 2 places as Eggy's fighting with Warren still for P10. And the more they fight, that'll allow Frosty to close up to them. And yeah, because 2nd, 3rd and 4th have been squabbled, that's allowed Adam to close up. Adam, who obviously hasn't had a podium yet, has been classified 3rd or 4th, but has usually had a penalty post-race. He's looking good so far, with a lot of battery to use. Same with Josh Hewitt, to be fair. He's going to do the same thing he did last lap. And will Ridian be close enough as well? We're looking at him blasting all his battery, trying to close up to the Ferrari. We'll go to the inside. Adam watching this unfold. Chubster breaking round the outside. Ridian goes on the curb there, and Chubster stays in front. And there's slight contact again between the Ferrari and the Williams. Adam senses a gap that really wasn't there and goes off the track. And that's allowed Josh Hewitt to have some distance between him and the Ferrari. And yeah, luckily none of them win the wall there. Stelios still in front of Drifting, who's over a second ahead of Yondu, who's ahead of Chaz now. So Sombra 2.4 ahead of Josh, who I'm sure still got some life left in those mediums. But Sombra looking good at the moment. Got some good pace. Chubster still trying to keep within a second of Josh. Got enough battery to do so. Ridian trying to save his up. And we see Stelios now gaining on this train. And he's got Drifting out of DRS. So Drifting's using his battery to try and close back in. But he hasn't got it. But the more they squabble, the more Drifting can be brought back into this. And here we go then. About to be 3 wide heading into turn 1. Here goes Ridian to the inside. Fighting away with Chubster. Slight wheel bang in between them. Adam watching this unfold. Can't find a gap to switch back. Chaz speeds in the pit lane. Ridian rejoins nearly into Chubster. Adam's trying to still find his way between them. And I believe Ridian's the one. No, they all have DRS. So they were still within a second of Josh Hewitt. And Chubster has won that fight. You can see bits of weird debris getting flown up every time they go through turn 4 and 5. Chubster still ahead of Adam, who's ahead of Ridian. And like I said, the more they squabble, the more Stelios will now get closer to this fight. For Drifting's sake, he'll hope they fight even more. We have a yellow, and that is Christian, I believe. Gone off there. Has he changed his wing? Can't tell. No, he still hasn't changed his wing. So Chaz pitted after using the soft compound tyres, sped into the pit lane, has put the hard compound tyres on, gone for another spin at turn 6. It's going to allow Adam ahead of him now. As we see Chubster and Adam already swapping once again on the detection line. And here goes Ridian gaining in the slipstream of the Ferrari. Chubster can't really do too much to fight that, so Ridian has got the place. And Josh, we can see gaining on Sombra. Was under 2 seconds. We see going wide Ridian as Stelios has joined this fight. And here we go. Here's Stelios. You can see 2 cars ahead of him. He's going to try and get the pair of them, but he's got barely any battery to use. Closes the gap a little on Chubster. So that allows Ridian to stay in front. And they're going to remain wheel to wheel, drifting. 2 seconds behind these guys now. Not got enough pace at the moment. Stelios then clears round the outside of a struggling Chubster on those really old worn softs now. 11 laps into the race. And surely he'll pit soon. But Stelios has brought himself very much back into play for the fight for the podium. Josh just keeping the gap constant at the moment. With Sombra closing it slightly. Just around 2 seconds at the moment. So Christian into the pit lane does change his wing now. Level battery for the pair of them. But Josh is coming in. No, it always looks like they're about to pit. But I'm pretty sure Chubster is pitting. Now into the pit lane then for the Ferrari. And drifting. And drifting speeds. I thought that looked a bit too quick to be heading into the pit lane. And unfortunately, the championship leader's just been hit with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's going to really affect his race. So Chubster will exit on the hards. Same with drifting. Josh Hewitt's has lost half a second now. Looks like the hards are looking pretty good at this stage of the race. The mediums and softs starting to wear. But Adam, his mediums, he's kept them in good shape. He's really closing in on Josh Hewitt. It was 1.5, now it's 7/10. And he's bringing Ridian and Stelios along with him. Yonder a bit out on his own. Still on the softs. Very surprising that he hasn't pitted yet. Warren still on the hard compound tyres. Only 10 seconds off the lead. Considering he started last. And he's got Eggy just outside of a second. Drifting is past Nathan already. We look further forward. Who's coming into the pit lane? None of the top 5. Louis, 3-second pen. Yonder staying out again. But now Adam closing up to Josh Hewitt. 60%. Josh is 70. Josh hasn't decided to burn a lot to gain on Sombra. He knows he'll pit early. Gain a little bit of an undercut on him. And hopefully that'll be good enough. But Josh just using the battery to stay ahead of Adam. As we see Stelios fighting away with Ridian. And Stelios is now up in a 4th. After not the greatest start, he's come right back with his race pace to get himself back up in to the contention of the top 4. But now he needs to push a little bit because he's outside of a second. There we go. Ridian now, 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. 13 laps into the race on those softs for Yonder. Warren's catching him tremendously at the moment. And he's lapping at the same pace as Sombra as well on the same tyre, so that's good for Warren. As we're approaching the halfway stage, Josh is coming in. Adam stays out, so does Stelios. Ridian is following Josh in, and Josh needs to make sure he doesn't get a 10-second, which he does not. Ridian definitely won't. And they'll pit for hard compound tyres then to go to the end. In reference, here are Chubster and drifting. Josh Hewitt into the grid spot, his pit box, as Warren gets a 3-second time penalty to be a second pen of the evening. Josh exits the pit lane then. There's Chubster. There's drifting into turn 1. It'll be close between Josh and Chubster. Looks like Chubster will be ahead though. It's going to be close between the Ferrari and the Sauber. And Josh comes out and collides with Chubster into the wall, famously where he collided in Tier 2 Season 4. One of the championship leaders. He can see his other rival right behind him and is about to pass him. There's been a big collision between Josh Hewitt and Chubster. And Josh Hewitt has lost his front wing. It looked like Chubster was about to come out in front of Josh. And then Josh came out side by side, and then they just connected into the wall. And Josh Hewitt, PTSD, flashbacks, as Adam has now sped as well, And this race has just taken a big turn in the destiny of the championship. Josh Hewitt has lost his front wing. Drifting has a 10-second time penalty. The top two in the championship are not having a good day. And Sam L right now hoping for a miracle. And at the moment, his teammate is the one who's just collided with Josh Hewitt. But did he do anything wrong? It looked like Josh just came out to the pit lane and then connected with him. Wow. Crazy scenes at Brazil. That caught me so off guard here. Chubster, as you can see, has lost half his wing as well. It's going to allow drifting to close in. He managed to undercut Ridian by pitting a bit early. And we can see Adam 1.4 ahead. Josh Hewitt has got it all to do then. Pitting for the medium compound tyres that might not even go the race distance. Wow. So yeah, we saw this. Josh just came out of the pit lane. Wow, this corner has not been kind to him. I mean, he's lucky to still be in the race, to be fair. That was a hefty whack. Twice. Went left into the wall. Went right into the wall, then went left. Big hit. Stelios now into the pit lane. Pits for the hards. So he'll be on pretty good fresh rubber compared to those near. Chubster into the pit lane. Both racers have taken a bit of a toll there. As we have a yellow, and that is, I believe, Christian going off there. But he rejoins the track. Yonder's still out there on the softs. He's been overtaken by Warren. Warren's quicker than Sombra. It was 10 seconds. Now it's 9. Warren showing some really good pace. It's a shame he had that qualifying ban. Because he's going to be probably the winning Aston soon when drifting has that 10 second. We have safety cars and whatnot. I guess quite a few of them can serve a pen. As Josh is ahead of Adam. Nathan exits the pit lane. Chaz gets a 3-second penalty. 7 seconds behind these guys, obviously, after that spin. And every time I go on board with him, there's another spin. Another 3-second. So that's 16 seconds now. And he needs to change his wing. We're about to hit the halfway stage. I'm about to say, we still have all 16 running. That might not be the case soon. Sombra's still out there. Obviously, he hasn't even done half the race yet on the hards, so there's no point to pit. Same with Warren. Yonder's still sticking with the Aston Martin. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 10 dead for Adam. Looking really good. He's pitted for softs. That's not it. Softs. As that's more yellows, I believe, for Chaz coming into the pit lane. Another 10 second, and I wouldn't be too surprised. Yep, there we go. As drifting's past Stelios in P7. But yeah, Adam pitted for softs. That's interesting. Medium soft. And we're not even halfway done yet. I mean, Adam's got the 10-6, so you never know. But we have lost Chaz F1 from this race. And what Josh Hewitt would really want is a safety car. I think even drifting would want a safety car at this rate. And especially Adam. Eggy's up there in 5th. Hasn't pitted, obviously. Yonder finally into the pits. He's done half the race on a set of softs. Very impressive. From the McLaren, depends where he's going to come out, though. Maybe even near, well, probably 9th or 10th. He's going to come into the box. And if he can go that long with softs, he's definitely going to put the medium compound tyres on to go to the end in a bunch of clear air. No one behind him for a while. But there's going to be quite a few people ahead of him down the road. As we see Ridian, Drifting, and Stelios. Stelios back ahead of Drifting, but not for much longer. Drifting back in front of Stelios now. And obviously, Frosty disconnected at the start. He dropped down to 15th. He's going long into this race. Top 3, still on hards. Haven't pitted yet. Eggy, the last driver to pit, who's not started on hards. And I don't know if he's just trying to wait for a certain safety car or something. Adam now. His pit lane's catching a lot of people out. As we see Warren has lost a second to Sombra. It was 9. Now it's 10. So yeah, Warren struggling a bit for tyres. But he was at one stage quicker than Sombra. Frosty's closing in on Warren now. As Bluey Looks like he may have undercut Adam. It's going to be close. But, yeah, it looks like Bluey's ahead. Drifting in Stelios. And Ridian now. Trying to make a double overtake. Is the Williams into turn 1. He's got it done. Covers off the apex. Ridian, 8th to 6th. Now we have a yellow. And I believe that is Christian again. That corner catching him out for the second or third time this race. Has dropped him behind the leader. Now he's been lapped. Anyway, we look back. Ridian still ahead of Stelios. Still ahead of Drifting. And Drifting, if he can just stick with these guys who have good pace. I know Yonder's going to be pretty quick on those mediums. But the gap is nearly 10 seconds. So Drifting could still come away with 4 points. Sam L, right now, as it stands, I don't know how he does that. He misses a race. And somehow, like Texas, for example, Josh didn't score. Obviously, Drifting still got second. As that's Eggy being overtaken by Adam, who's flying at the moment. Could Adam potentially be ahead of Sombra when he pits? Surely. But Adam has that 10. Will these guys be ahead of Sombra? Obviously, Sombra will pit for a better tyre than he is on now. It's going to be very interesting to see. And, yeah, these three staying how they are at the moment. There was some weird thing in the pit lane there. Looked like a big cloth of smoke or something. But, yeah, we're going to have to watch that back. We have another yellow. I believe, is that just Bluey getting out of the way? Yeah, I believe so. He's getting lapped. Chubster, 9.995, 5 thousandths ahead of what Adam did. So Chubster's turned his pace up on the mediums as well. So that's pretty good from him, considering Adam was on new softs. Yeah, Chubster's still hanging on to the points. 19 races in a row in the points. And this would be a 20th. That's off. Unfortunately, Frosty Life has left again. Right when he's about to enter the pit lane. I don't know if he wanted to extend this stint, but it might seem like his AI will take over his strategy. Bluey's fighting with his AI, who is staying out, to be fair, but this is going to lose him a bit of time. Warren's into the pit lane, however. Looks like he'll go for medium compound tyres. It's a Haas 1-2 as we got a yellow, and that is Chubster, who's gone round, who was looking good with pace. But now that promotes Josh Hewitt into the points. And Sombra's pitted along with Warren. And where does Sombra come out in favour to the leaders? He's going to emerge in this fight. There's Drifting. So Ridian now is ahead of who was the race leader. Warren is out of the race. Has he just crashed exiting the pit lane? No, he's carried on. So he clearly has all four. But he's clearly pressed to retire. And he didn't want to see the second part of his strategy through. So even though Chubbs had a big spin in 10th, he's still going to be 10th. That promotes Joshua up into 9th. And with Drifting having a 10-second, that's going to drop him to 8th. Amazingly, the top two in the World Championship are going to finish 8th and 9th at the moment. So Sam L would only lose out, what, a few points? But we have Sombra going round now. The race leader, who was looking on a great strategy, still has his wing intact. Don't know what's happened to him there. But suddenly this race is kicking another twist. And Eggy's now in, so that might actually help. Well, it depends. Eggy onto the softs then. He's gone a long way on those tyres. But yeah, that was not in the script for Sombra. He's had a spin there, of all places. Don't know if he got hit or what. But I don't know who's going to win this Grand Prix at the moment. Frosty Lifestyle hasn't pitted. I believe he's the only one not to pit. Yeah, it's a Haas 1-2 at the moment. Adam has gone medium soft. But he can't surely take those softs, what? 21 laps? No way. There is just no way. As Christian's out, and that's on track. And that is a safety car. That area of the track is catching so many out. How has he lost it there? Well, we have a safety car then, and that is perfect for Adam. And that's going to help Drifting a lot too, to serve his 10-second. And that does change the course of the race. That is going to really help Frosty Life. That is incredible. Frosty Life, who's disconnected twice, is now going to be If everyone pits, the new race leader. Oh, nah, Yonder's staying out. He will be the new race leader. Oh, still, Frosty will be second. Oh, no. No, he won't. No, he will not, because Adam's got to serve his 10 seconds, and Frosty is just stuck there. So unfortunate for Frosty Life, as if his luck couldn't get any worse. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Anyway, let's look at the tyres. Eggy, this has really helped Eggy. Considering, well, he didn't have to pit, did he? And that's Bluey who's in the mix as he's lapped. Eggy is now second with only a lap older tyres. Drifting will serve his 10 second. Wow. And Josh Hewitt is going to be right behind his championship rival in 8th and 9th. Chubster 10th. Nathan and Adam will close up as well to be on the outskirts of the points. I said Adam hasn't scored a point yet. Well, he's not too far off. Wow. I mean, yeah, Yonder's going to be on 5 lap old hard mediums compared to everyone else on new tyres. And Eggy 1 lap older. We've still got quite a few laps to go. Those softs for him, Ridian and Josh Hewitt. Probably not going to be in the greatest look towards the end. Wow. Eggy in his 50th race. As that's Bluey trying to maybe unlap himself. We see that. Bluey 10 second for ignoring yellow flag. He doesn't care. He's overtaken the safety car. Will he be allowed to rejoin, or is the game going to disqualify him? I think at the moment he might have gotten away with it. So, big up Bluey, I think. Message from Christian. Right, that neutralises the race a little. Let's see if there's any reactions. I want to see what happens. If Josh has anything to say about that thing with Chubster. Josh is asking what happened. Chaz said he wasn't actually going to retire until he sped. Christian's saying his mediums had no traction. This isn't F122. That late on the exit, heading up the back straight onto the main straight, and he's lost it. I mean, to be fair, he's not the only one who's had something there. Sombra, but he was on new tyres, like just came out the pit lane tyres. But we also saw Chaz have a cause a yellow there as well. So Adam 10 second with, but what the hell? The last 2 brain cells. Great. Well, Nathan's caught the pack at least. He's keeping it fine. Didn't even realise Stelios left. Well, luckily he's yeah, it's under safety car, so yeah. Thank you. Christian saying he was not fully focused, he was looking at the map. Well, Christian out, and his teammate Yonder is now in the lead. Ridian has that 3 second. He's the only one of the top 11 to have a penalty at the moment. That's as a Bluey drive through, speeding under safety car. I don't even know if these two will even catch at this rate. They've got so many penalties, and Bluey don't pit. Good. Adam, no. Bluey, another drop. Bluey, slow down. I actually don't know if it's him. Bluey, another drop. Yeah, I don't know. Surely that's him driving, though. Does he just not know what a delta is or something? He's been here for nearly 50 races. There we go, he's slowing down. That's like 3 drive-thrus he's got, though. And half of it. Oh, well, don't know if the safety car's coming in this lap. We'll find out in a few seconds when that yellow dot hits that white line. Yep, it's coming in. So Adam and Bluey are a bit on their own. They are not going to catch the safety car. And out of the top 11, Ridian, I mean, as much as he's on softs, has a 3 set. We still got 10 laps to go after this. But yeah, game on. The Sombra, his strategy has been thrown out the window now. And now he's got to use his pace. Yonder will lead the safety car restart then. And gear us up for the final 11 laps of the Grand Prix. He's gone. And Eggy, in his 50th race, sees the win in sight on the soft compound tyres. Then Ridian, Stelios, drifting, already trying to maximise the restart. And he's firing away with a laggy Frosty Life. And I believe Ridian may have got the place, unless he's got an illegal. Josh trying to go through the Ghost as well. And he sees his championship rival in front of him in his old team that he fought for the World Championship with. And looks like Frosty's in his car now. But that's allowed both the rivals in the World Championship to go up one place. 7th and 8th now. It's going to be hard to just focus on one thing at a time. Bluey is retired in the pit lane, which is fair enough. Adam will be P12 on his own then. 11 seconds off the lead with 16 seconds of his own. Yonder still holding on to the lead. The DRS will be activated soon. And Eggy, out of nowhere, just been trailing in 10th and 11th for most of the race. Stayed out, was in 5th or 4th, pitted, and now finds himself 2nd with a great opportunity at the moment. But Yonder has still got some good pace on those mediums, but he's got the oldest tyres of anyone, 5 laps extra. So, yeah, 15 laps on mediums. It's doable, but others are going to be in a much better position. And considering Yonder and Eggy are 4th and 5th in the championship, 30 points apart, they would not have expected themselves to be 1 and 2 with 10 laps to go. And here we go then. This is where it's going to get spicy. Stelios all over the back of Ridian. There goes Eggy into the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix with 10 to go. And we see the 2 title protagonists slightly making contact. Josh on the softs is ahead of Drifting now. So like I said, Drifting 1 point ahead of Josh at the moment. Josh 1 point ahead of Drifting, who's just letting him know he's there. And whoever beats the other today will lead the World Championship with 3 races to go. Mahir on the inside of Drifting, having a little look. Drifting just hasn't really seemed to show the pace today. He's giving the room, however, to Chubster. Drifting still ahead. And Chubster looks like he's backing off. And will let Drifting keep hold of 8th for now. Top 10, all within DRS of one another. And Eggy leads the Grand Prix. But Yonder is still there in his slipstream with the DRS in hot lap. Eggy trying to break the toe. Here's Sombra trying to overtake Stelios. It's all kicking off. Yonder to the inside. And to the inside is the Haas of Adam. Trying to get past Stelios, which he has done. So some good moves being made. I heard some contact. May have been Sombra trying to get past as well. As we look further forward. No battery for the top 2. But Eggy swooping around the outside. Retakes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. His teammate is in 4th. And looking to reclaim that first place. They're all in none. And like we saw last time out, Sombra and Adam don't care about it, about the games, and they just want to gain the places. We have a yellow, and that is a connection, I believe, between Stelios and Chubster. They've both gone off, and Josh Hewitt is in this fight, this mix of drivers, and he's trying to go around the outside of Adam. What a move if he can pull this off. He's got to the inside line, but Adam is now ahead. They tripped over each other slightly. Drifting and Josh made contact into the wall. The 2 title protagonists have come together at Brazil. And for the 2nd time in this race, Josh Hewitt has no front wing. And both championship protagonists have come together like they did in Belgium. Sombra's now up to 3rd. It's a Mercedes 1-2 at Sao Paulo. And it looks like Sombra, who may have been thwarted with the safety car, is not going to let that loosen any strength he has of still winning this race. The 2 Mercedes now swap. Stelios is out of the race. La Sombra's back into the lead. Eggy 2nd, Yonder 3rd. Drifting has seen his race get destroyed. Same with Josh Hewitt. And Adam is 8th. Oh my God. As Ridian and Yonder fighting away. What a crazy race. Brazil always serves up something. And, well, we saw Josh Hewitt come together with Sam's teammate. And now he's come together with his championship protagonist. And they're still right next to each other on the track. And Josh looking to the inside. Drifting still ahead. And they're fighting still. Please don't come together again. Josh is going to get onto the curb slightly. And they're fighting away, Drifting and Josh. Once again, wheel-to-wheel stuff between Drifting and Josh Hewitt. We got yellows everywhere. And Nathan's up in 7th, but I believe he just caused a yellow. And yeah, Chubster for the, second, third time. He came together with Stelios as Josh looking to the inside. And yeah, he came together with Stelios, and Stelios has retired. Wow, Adam will still get beaten by Drifting and Josh and Chubster at the moment and not score any points. We look back to the front. Eggy is still sticking with his teammate on those softs. They are going to wear out soon. This 6-car train for the lead, and none of the championship protagonists are in it. This is crazy. As down the inside goes Frosty Life. He doesn't care. He's been through hell and back so far this race. 2 disconnects, being held up behind his teammate for 10 seconds in the pit lane. And his teammate now to the inside is barging his way past Yonder, who's just fallen down the order, unfortunately, after leading this restart. And hasn't really got his elbows out. Doesn't really want to cause too much trouble, but is at the back of this train now. 2 Haas's, 2 Mercedes, 1 Williams, who's obviously going to drop down. So it's Haas versus Mercedes at the moment. Is Eggy going to try and take back the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix with 6 laps to go? Here goes Ridian, trying to maybe get the pair of them, but he's close to Eggy, and he has to avoid the Mercedes braking, and Ridian gets on the curb, and that slows Frosty down now. And they're all getting close together. And while all this is happening, Josh and Drifting are still know whoever beats the other right here is going to lead the World Championship unless, penalties, as the 2 Mercedes are wheel to wheel. And Ridian and Frosty and Adam are all so close to one another with 6 laps to go. And Yonder knows he's obviously got the older mediums. And we see Drifting flying past Josh into P9. Oh my God, what on earth is this race? Sombra still looking for that first win. Eggy looking for his first win. Ridian tags the back of Eggy slightly, and that allows Frosty Life onto the podium. And now Adam is ahead of Ridian too. So now it really is Haas versus Mercedes. Wow. Here we go then. Who's going to do what with 5 laps to go of this Brazilian Grand Prix? We see the 2 Haas cars side by side. Now we see the 2 Mercedes side by side. They're both swapping. Eggy's back into the lead. Frosty Life, who's had 4 wins to his name in his glorious Tier 2 careers, the 2 Mercedes swap again. And Eggy's now going to come under pressure without the DRS. So now Adam sees his opportunity, but he can't quite get past at the moment. The top 3. As we see Sombra going off there. Sombra, 1 podium to his name. Eggy, 13 podiums to his name. Sombra, Sombra 1 podium. Eggy 13. And Adam, without a podium, is currently on the podium and is currently now 2nd. Splits the Mercedes. Frosty trying to get close to Eggy as well. Looks like his softs are unfortunately falling off. Frosty to the inside. And he's letting Eggy know he's there. Eggy, because he's clean, gives the space, but that's just let the top 2 have a bit of breathing room at the moment, as we see to the inside. Frosty still trying to fight away with Eggy, and they're still wheel to wheel. And is Eggy going to get DRS? I don't think he is, unfortunately, and they're squabbling as let the top 2 get away. But Eggy has enough, and there goes Ridian trying to get the pair of them, and so is Yonder getting his elbows out. Is Yonder, and to the inside, diving to the inside, is the Haas of Frosty Life. That was way too late, couldn't quite catch it, but yeah, Frosty went so deep into turn 1 and hit one of them, and unfortunately he's dropped down the order because of it. Eggy back up into the podium then, but it looks like his chances of victory have fallen. It looked kind of slim anyway with those softs falling off. And Ridian all over the back. These guys close in the World Championship as well. 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, I believe, including whoever else was not there. As we see Drifting and Josh. Slight contact again between them. What is it? Eggy's 4th, Yonder's 5th, Ridian's 6th. Oh, Chubster, that's it. Chubster's with them, but unfortunately he'll only score 1 point today at the moment. Well, it's close between Josh Hewitt and Drifting to Adam. As we see Eggy getting overtaken by Ridian. So much happening everywhere. Yonder is trying to fight for this podium too, as Ridian knows he probably won't keep it with that 3 second. And we see maybe a potential swap for the lead soon. As, oh my God, Ridian's been absolutely jumped by the pair of them. So Yonder's back up in a third now. They lost 3 seconds to the leaders. And Eggy's fourth and Ridian's fifth. The top two. Sombra has 1 podium to his name in his first race where he had that glorious fight with Yonder for the podium. And it literally came to the line when they went wheel to wheel. So he's got 1 podium to his name. Adam has no podiums to his name. He's had a few chances, finished 3rd or 4th in the race result, but because of post-race stewarding, he's always dropped to 8th or something, as Josh Hewitt is now past Adam, and so is Drifting. They've caught him. I would not have expected to see Adam fighting with the championship leaders. Oh my god, he's going to go to the inside, and he's made contact with Drifting, and he's made more contact with Drifting, and that's allowed Chubster to now close up to Adam, who's probably going to be, unfortunately, the only one not to score again, and that's allowed Josh Hewitt to break away a bit, away from Drifting. Chubster to the inside, can't quite get past the Aston Martin. Oh my god, Nathan is going to get 7th here. That's amazing to see. And we look further to the front then. The change of leadership. We're on the penultimate lap, and Adam is now into the lead ahead of Sombra. We still don't know what's going to be reported, what's happened in this race. Yonder's ghosting for some reason, and that's going to allow Eggy to close up to him. Hopefully all right, everything's all right there. No! I thought there was an issue. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Yonder. Adam gets another pen. Oh, that's so unfortunate for the McLaren. He had the podium right there. He was going to fight with Eggy, and it looks like at the moment it's going to go to Eggy because obviously Ridian has that pen. Drifting is back in front of Josh to retake the championship lead. Remember, whoever finishes ahead between these two leads the world championship, unless pens and whatever change that. And yeah, Frosty now ahead as Josh is back ahead of Drifting. They've come together once this race. Right now, they're fighting for everything at the moment. Yonder's back in, but it's too late. We start the final lap then. Is Sombra close enough to take his first victory? Is it going to be Sombra or is it going to be Adam to win their first Grand Prix? Sombra staying behind at the moment. He's playing the DRS games. He knows what to do. Adam looking for a first podium. He didn't know it may be a first win, but he's got Sombra behind, looking for his first win as Yonder's back in his car. And here comes Sombra then, in his 3rd race, still staying behind Adam. But now he goes to the inside, but stays behind again. So it looks like if Sombra wants to win this, we're going to have a drag race to the line. Eggy has still stayed ahead of Ridian and Frosty Life. And despair for Yonder. He might still be able to stick within 3 seconds of Ridian and get a top 5 finish. But you can see Sombra saving his battery, but Adam is saving it too. He's got a full battery, and can Adam hold on to the line, or will Sombra get it? This is going to be so close. What an amazing Brazilian Grand Prix we've had, and it's going to deliver us a new podium sitter, a new race winner, a new championship leader potentially between Josh and Drifting. But now they've exited the final corner. Is it going to be Adam or is it going to be Sombra? They're blasting everything to the line, and who's going to win the race in Brazil? It's going to be close. Adam, for the first time in Tier 2, has won a Grand Prix. He held on against Sombra. Eggy holds on to the podium. Haas and Mercedes. It's been a glorious race for them. Yonder gets 5th. Ridian with that pen drops to 6th. And it looks like Josh Hewitt is going to beat Drifting. Drifting, who went into this as the championship leader, 1 point ahead of Josh, is now going to be 1 point behind Josh. And even though Sam L didn't race, he's only going to be about 6 to 7 points behind these guys as well. Maybe even 5. It's actually close, though, between them. Who's going to lead the World Championship? Is it going to be Josh or Drifting? It's going to be Josh at the moment, unless pens after the race change anything with Chubster as well with P10. Adam, unfortunately, once again, no points. But the other Adam has won the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's his first win, and hopefully he'll keep the podium this time. So much happened there. Wow. Oh my god, Brazil always serves up something, and that was so much. What a what a result! Look at that. That is crazy. Chubster got fastest lap by 5 thousandths ahead of Adam. His fastest lap was just ahead of Sombra's, who was just ahead of Frosty. Frosty deserves that after everything he's been put through that race. I mean, he did do one thing that was kind of his own error into turn one. Don't know if he'll get a pen for that. I mean, this result could completely change by the time we head to Vegas, but wow. Well, that is probably an all-time classic. And that's definitely going to be one to remember in terms of the fight for the championship. Josh Hewitt and Drifting finishing 8th and 9th. And it's not like they're really going to get any higher than that. You know, if you told me Nathan would beat the top two in the championship. Oh my, well, that's tier 2 for you. Yep, Brazil banger incoming. Absolute cinema. Alright, let's get the top guys in then. Adam. I can't interview Sombra because he's not on Xbox. And who finished third? Eggy. On his 50th race. That was quite the 50th race. Oh, I can't interview Eggy either, I don't think. Oh, well, maybe I can actually. Because he has an Xbox account. There we go. If he joins, he joins. But at the moment, who's definitely joined the party? Adam! Are you there, mate? Have you included your audio?
I have, yeah.
Oh my god, what a race from you. Wow. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm just glad, really. I thought a few points in that race. When I pitted off the mediums, I thought I had no chance of trying to win. But that safety car saved me.
So you started on the mediums. You were making your way through the field pretty well. You were with the leaders, and then you pitted. Was it always the plan to go onto softs, or did you make a mistake?
No, when I was on the screen at the start, I'm pretty sure I put hards on there, but I don't know what happened, and I ended up pitting onto softs. But
Right. But then you obviously showed some really good pace on the softs. You had fastest lap. Unfortunately, Chubster took it off you by 5 thousandths while he was on the mediums to your softs. So that said a lot about his pace and what he could have maybe done today. But obviously you got involved in some very interesting drama. But you kept your nose clean, and like I was saying at the time, a safety car would really benefit you. And well, it came out, and obviously you sped as well. You had that 10-second. Was it by much or?
I think it was about 2 miles an hour.
Ah, well, you served it anyway to get out of the way. Unfortunately, you held your teammate up for quite a while as well. But still, it was great to see both Hasses up there in the top 4. And then you got past, well, you were 6th or 5th, and then you were just once again just making your way up ahead of your teammate, ahead of Eggy, up into 2nd. And then some squabbling happened that let you and Sombra get away. And then you took the lead, and your battery game was just perfect. You had enough to keep it. I think that was Sombra's race to lose, really. He had so many attempts in turn 1, turn 4, but he stayed behind. When did you know you were going to win that? Was it literally on the run to the line, or did you know starting the last lap?
No, it was pretty much just on the run to the line. It was pretty much just after I got past pit lane.
Fair enough. Wow. Well, that's considering you started this season in tier 1, and then we realised, he probably deserves tier 2 more. You've come here, and after a few attempts at 3rds and 4ths, and then dropping to like 8th or something, wow, this is really deserving for you. So well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, where'd you qualify? 7th?
7th, I think.
7th, yeah. Wow, that is how long have you been doing league racing for?
Like since about November-ish.
All right, and where does this race rank?
Top.
Top, yep.
I
Fair
think
enough.
in terms of performance, it's probably top, just above
Yeah,
the race last week in Mexico.
last week in Mexico. Oh yeah, you were doing really well in Mexico as well. Unfortunately, the penalties on the other hand.
Yeah.
But today you really kept it good. A lot of drivers actually kept their penalties pretty good. Like barely any actually had any.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just Brazil now compared to before, but How many warnings were you on that
I was
race?
sitting on 2 warnings after about lap
Ooh,
12 or 11.
damn. Jeez. Well, what a drive from, and considering that was around the time you pitted for softs and you were really pushing to not get a warning as well.
Yeah.
Bravo. Um, I guess last question: did you do anything that race that might be like you think others might want to um investigate you for, like Penworthy and whatnot?
I don't think I
I didn't really
did.
see anything. No, I'm just trying to think who got involved in what, because obviously there was the big main incident that happened, and the other one. But besides that, I can't actually remember you getting involved in it. Your teammate did a bit of a dive towards the end that was a bit questionable. But yeah, for your sake, I think hopefully that will stay and it'd be great to do so. So yeah, full congratulations on becoming EXFL's newest Tier 2 race winner. You are now, let me just check. You are the 70th different driver in our history to win a Tier 2 Grand Prix. So well done on that. You just
Thank you.
missed out on being 69th, but
Cool.
oh well. Yeah. But yeah, well done today, mate.
Thank you.
And how are you feeling for Vegas next week?
Ooh. Um, Not too bad at the moment. As long as I put a decent amount of practice in, I should be alright.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll see. You're in the black and red car. Depends what you're going to bet it all on. But yeah, we'll see. So very well done.
Yeah.
Right, and that has been, wow, the Tier 2 Season X Brazilian Grand Prix. Crazy race. Utterly unimaginable result there for the championship and just for the top three, really. Crazy race. And I'm sure it won't be over. There'll be a lot to sort. But yeah, well done to Adam and Sombra and Eggy. At the moment, a lot of points for Mercedes and Haas. And yeah, for the championship, considering Alex was one ahead of Josh, who was one ahead of Sam. Josh finished 8th, so got 4 points. So Josh is 5 points ahead of Sam. And Alex will be 4 points ahead of Sam. So even with Sam missing another race, the top three at the moment will only be separated by 5 points with 3 races to go. And unless Josh gets pens, it could be even closer than that. With Chubster there as well. We'll look at it into it. But yeah, wow. Came on.